Hello, everyone. My name is Rosenhouse, and today I want to inform you on the positives and negative effects of caffeine for college students specifically. Have you ever felt yourself so tired, either in class or at the wheel, that you felt yourself falling asleep when you shouldn't have? So, that terrifying moment on the road could put your safety and the safety of others at risk. But caffeine can help prevent that dangerous fatigue and keep you awake and alert. There have been many times in my experience where I've dozed off when I shouldn't have. In fact, when I was in 11th grade, I grew a very bad caffeine addiction and it burned a hole through my parents' pockets. It was unhealthy for me and it was unhealthy for my parents' bank account. Ultimately, however, I did beat the addiction by cutting off and not drinking as much. This experience in 11th grade taught me the firsthand benefits and the dangers of caffeine that I would like to share with you today. As college students, oftentimes we rely on caffeine to give us energy. I, for one, definitely do. Now, whether we're getting our caffeine from sources like coffee or tea or energy drinks, we need to understand how we can consume caffeine in safe amounts that are healthy for us. Now, part of my daily schedule is when I wake up, for breakfast, I drink a protein shake that has 95 milligrams of caffeine in it. Now, knowing how to use caffeine in a responsible way can ultimately be the difference between our personal success and our ultimate failure. And it's imperative to know this because it also helps us maintain our mental health and our physical health. Caffeine in moderation is the best way to go. Moderate amounts of caffeine can help improve our focus, help us succeed academically, and ultimately protect our long-term brain health. What I want to share with you today is the problem with caffeine misuse, the causes of the potential misuse, and the solutions to this misuse. What can cause this is the problem is fatigue, poor focus, and declining productivity in your work. Mayo Clinic, one of the world's most widely appraised research hospitals, noted that caffeine stimulates our central nervous system, helps boost our alertness, and can actually improve our memory. So it could help us study better. Curious is a peer-reviewed medical journal, and in 2023 they posted that students who consume caffeine have actually shown to perform better in their academic life. Now, without these benefits of caffeine, students risk falling behind in their work. However, we shouldn't take sleep for granted and just rely on caffeine because sleep is most imperative. But sometimes it's hard to balance it with a packed schedule, especially with college classes and extracurriculars, and ultimately caffeine is what we turn to. Packed schedules increase stress and make us rely on caffeine. The Journal of Health Population Nutrition wrote a journal in 2024 stating how students use caffeine to manage their academic and their physical demands. This could be making up for lost study time, making up for sleep that they lost, and other examples of just being behind. Now, the CDC, a government agency, said that this caffeine misuse is a widespread issue. And in fact, 30 to 50% of teens and young adults throughout America consume energy drinks. In my senior year of high school, I was part of this group. I was a top student photographer in my high school, and on days when I had to stay late for it was a longer school day or I was staying back for a game, I had to drink an energy drink to make sure I had the alertness and awakeness that I needed at the game while shooting pictures and when driving home. Now, some critics argue that energy drinks can be dangerous. Now, this is true, but only when they're abused. Moderate portions, like my daily protein shake that has 95 milligrams of caffeine, are healthier options that are better than too many energy drinks. If we use caffeine responsibly, then that's how we can be more productive. Now, too much of anything, like the energy drinks with so much caffeine, can be bad for you. The best way to derive the benefits of caffeine is by consuming it in moderation. Mayo Clinic, once again, in 2024, put out how moderate caffeine use can be beneficial for our health. In fact, a moderate amount of caffeine can actually help reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. So when we cut back on excessive caffeine use, like in a Celsius or a Monster, and we apply a healthier consumption habits, like my shake that I drink that has 95 milligrams, we're likely to experience the benefits such as better focus, higher energy levels, and even feeling better in the long term. Now, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, says that a healthy level of daily consumption of caffeine is somewhere between the 200 to 400 milligram mark. But too much caffeine can lead to physical shakiness and unnerving anxiousness and can ultimately just make you feel bad about yourself. But healthy amounts of caffeine won't cause such reactions. Rather, they'll provide you with more help than they will harm you. Now, caffeine shouldn't be used as a tool, Caffeine should be used as a tool, not a crutch. We shouldn't rely on it. We should use it to help us. So let's look back on what we've learned. We saw the problem, we covered the potential causes of the problem, and we learned how we can manage the problem. See, as college students, we often struggle with fatigue and keeping our focus. But we found that our heavy workloads and our tight schedules can end up making us dependent on the caffeine. But what we concluded is that caffeine can help us perform at our best as long as we use it responsibly in moderate amounts. So how are you going to go about and improve your caffeine habits? So the next time we find ourselves at the wheel or in class and we just can't keep our eyes open and we feel like we're falling asleep, let's consider caffeine, but in a moderate amount. We shouldn't rely on it more than we should sleep, but let's think of it as a safeguard that can help us when we truly need it most. Caffeine shouldn't be something that you get addicted to. And it shouldn't just be a part of your everyday schedule, but it can be the difference between failure and greatness. So drink up. Thank you.